Okay. So, put this there.
You can just go through that. Oh, just 1 second. Yes.
I'm just fine. Well, no, not that good. Spent the whole day and night talking to people with technology in my body. Uh, Todd Hall woke up this morning. He was telling me I was very ugly. Kept making fun of my nose. Uh, saying like, ugh, ugh, in my ear repeatedly when I looked in the mirror this morning. And then him and his other friends. Nice. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I can put it down for you. I'll put it back up after.
Oh, no. You do what you need. Yeah, so this entire morning, last night, the day before that, Todd Hall was talking to me constantly. Him and his other gay people, Barack Obama, Dwayne Johnson, they're telling me their names right now in my ear. So everywhere I go, everywhere I go, everything I do, there's somebody in my ear talking to me.
You got your report for me?
Yep.
So I can take notes. And I got the report from Shorewood. It's not a report, it's just after hours they contact the monitoring center. I don't know if your previous agents ever kind of explained how that works. So after hours they contact the monitoring center. The monitoring center sends us kind of a clip of the nature of that contact.
Okay.
Let me see if I can find it in here. And, I mean, it doesn't sound like anything came of it. It was, I got your text message. I think they had mentioned that they had, let me just see what they said here. You can tell me if this is or is not accurate.
Okay. Probably.
Saturday. Let's see, so let's see. They called the monitoring center asking about any rules or curfew, if they drive, those kinds of things. Which they do, for everybody. And it says that they driving without a violation of the rule, as long as you're, licensed and everything's good. We had previous contact with the sergeant at 8 p.m. in which you had driven past and swore at them, which resulted in contact. Does
So
that sound right?
two contacts were made?
8 p.m. and they said that there was another incident around shortly after midnight in which you had driven past again and swore at them, but there was not there wasn't like a contact made at that point.
Yes, that sounds at 8 p.m. If that was the time, I don't recall. I didn't write it down. But yeah, that sounds about right. I was driving. Like, I made a video of it. I put it on YouTube. I recorded the police interaction, what I said to him, and I posted it. The officer was at an intersection. Yet again, it keeps happening to me. When I go outside, I drive somewhere, and there is a police officer at the location that I'm going to, or right before I get there. So it's a constant thing. So everywhere I go, there's an officer before I get there or on my way there, like really close to the location that I'm going to. And then what do you call it? So I seen this officer arrive to the intersection just as I did. I told the officer, and this is a constant. Like, it's not like it's something that happens normally. It keeps happening. So I get to an intersection, I get to a stoplight, and somehow a police officer slowly arrives to the intersection and then stops at the intersection to
Not
make sure
necessarily behind you, right? Or
No,
doesn't
it could be across, it could be to the right, but it's a constant, like a repeat of something that you've seen before. So that the police officers are working somehow and able to arrive at the intersection using technology. My bet is that it's the same technology in my body is allowing them to do these things to harass somebody else in the community. So he did that. I drove past him, and as I usually do, and I'm sure he's very well aware of, I tell a police officer who's involved in any harassment that I view as harassment, which I'm pretty good at. Pretty good at telling the difference between a normal occurrence and when somebody's harassing you or making fun of you or doing something they're not supposed to. I told him to go fuck himself out my passenger side window, and I continued to drive. The officer entered the intersection and appeared like he didn't know which way he was going to go. So and I looked in my rearview mirror and I seen a vehicle not in motion. So I noticed it, or
Sure. Okay.
I don't know. I glanced in my rearview mirror, not purposely to watch him, but for some reason I noticed a vehicle not in motion, and I seen the officer hesitate to turn left, and then instead he turned right and followed behind me.
Okay.
Came behind me. I knew what he was trying to press an issue. Someone's telling me to say press an issue. And then I pulled into Walgreens. I was going there anyways. And I was trying to get my camera out faster, so I couldn't drive and get my camera out at the same time. So I had to pull over faster than I normally would have, because I wanted to record as much of the officer interacting with me as I could. So I did that. I pulled my camera out, and then the police officer kept driving. But then I wanted to, since he decided to follow behind me, I went to Walgreens. I turned around, went back to see if I can find him and ask him, why did you decide to press the issue? You know I do this all the time, and if you're upset and you want to talk to me about whatever it is I told you, you can talk to me about it, or we can address this issue like you just tried to. So he came back, and I learned that he got my license plates. He pulled up behind me to check my license plates, but I'm positive he already knew who I was before I got to the intersection.
Yeah.
And then he just did that to harass me, right? So when police officers pull up quickly behind you, it's automatically like a feeling. It's like a scary feeling.
Okay.
So, and he knows that. He knows that no matter who you are, no matter what you did, or even if you didn't do anything wrong, when police officers pull quickly to the rear of your vehicle, it's a moment where you're having a double check. You're double checking yourself to make sure in the last 5 minutes you didn't do anything you weren't supposed to do.
Fair point, yeah.
So no matter if I did something bad or did something good, that's still a bad feeling. And he's very well aware of that. And he's also aware that I made a statement, and I was afraid that he could have decided to do something he wasn't supposed to do in response, because he has the power to do lots of things, whether good or bad, at any moment. And it's up to people later on to decide whether that was a good decision or a bad decision. So I pulled my camera out as fast as I could, couldn't get it to, I went back up to the police officer, started talking to him, and that's when I started recording. That's pretty much it.
Okay.
From there, you can, if you're really interested, you can watch the video. And I kept talking. I went back over to talk to him. What else happened? I finished the count. That's it. The video ends. And then I left home. I went back home. went to Walgreens, got the stuff I needed. Went to McDonald's, got some food. The officer came to McDonald's. So that same officer drove around McDonald's. And I couldn't record him because I was inside McDonald's, and I seen a Shorewood Hills police officer drive around the McDonald's, go through the drive-through, come around, and exit the McDonald's, and then take a right into the apartments next door, and then drive down the hill. And I could see his vehicle from driving around McDonald's, exiting McDonald's, taking a right into the parking, into the apartment buildings, and then driving down the hill. So I could see his car again. So it's more like harassment. So I don't know if he knows. Technology can tell people exactly where anybody is. So the technology in my body is probably in his body. It's in the other people who participate in this gang stalking. I don't know, like knowing where someone is so you can do something at any time along the way that wherever they go. So it's like harassment wherever somebody goes. So the officer participated in that. He drove down the hill to further intimidate, scary. It's like circling.
Okay.
So
Okay.
he drove down the hill. He continued to harass. I went home. I ate my food. I posted the videos. I decided to leave because somebody was talking to me in my ear, telling me that I dare you to go back outside or something like that, telling me you want to go outside to get a win. You want to.
While you were in the comments?
While I was in my home, my apartment.
Okay. After you
So
returned back.
yeah, so the whole way they were talking to me, telling me about just constantly somebody talking to you. So when I got home, I remember, or they're telling me right now in my ear that you went home. We started telling you to go back outside, to go get your win, to go make yourself feel better by having another experience that wasn't as bad as the one you just had.
Okay.
So these people are, that's what they just said in my ear. And then they're squeezing the hell out of my chest. And then I went back down. I left. So I got to another intersection on my way downtown, and another police officer sped really quickly, very fast to a light that I was about to get through, and then stopped at the light, and then had his window rolled down. It was a white officer. He was young, about 20s, in his 20s, and he looked like it was unprofessional. He had an unprofessional demeanor, body language, like he was not working at all. Like he was just another dude in a car, and he smiled at me. I rolled down my window, and before I passed him, I told him to go fuck himself, and he smiled at me. And the people in my ear were telling me that he'll kill you if you want to. If you really want him to, if you really want to stress him out, this officer would be the guy to kill you. He doesn't have a problem shooting you.
Was that
It's around midnight.
Shorewood also?
Yes.
Was that Madison?
Another Shorewood police officer. And I drove downtown, went downtown, walked around, and I came back home. And then what happened? Came back home, and that was it. But every day there's somebody trying to aggravate or cause an altercation with me. It happens when I'm at work. Like yesterday, this guy I was working with was sticking his tongue out while he was talking. I don't know if you know about gay culture, but the dude was talking and then flicking his tongue out at the same time, like poking it out and flicking his lips while he was speaking to me. So it's like little things, not hard to catch, hard to watch. I mean, and it's no easy way to tell. I'm positive that's like, I don't know what it was, but I know he did that. I think it was gay culture, and what else? It's a constant thing. Everything I'm telling you is a constant occurrence, and I'm trying to tell.
Yeah.
And these, what are they saying? I think that was it. They're making it really hard for me to remember. I don't know. Somebody invented this, and they are using it on me.
Well, if you think of something else, that's fine. We got a few minutes. You're still at Dr.
Yes.
Okay, you're still working there. And is that, other than some of that other stuff that you're having to deal with, how is the job going?
Oh, I work the animals are nice. The people are, it's in the air. Every day is a different act. It's a different treatment.
Okay.
It's like a play. I don't know if you can imagine people acting funny around you constantly. So like, so you have to you get familiar with people over time, and it's like someone is preventing that from happening with me and the people I work with.
Preventing you from getting to know?
Yeah, well, not like getting information from those people, like personal things, but like behavior. So people behave a certain way constantly. You get familiar with that behavior.
Sure.
So their demeanors, their body language, their personalities, all these things that you can expect from somebody when you meet them over time.
Yeah.
And somebody is training or teaching these people to act differently. So I never can expect or perceive these people the same way each time I see them. So it's like an act. And it's not funny. It takes forever to think through this stuff.
Yeah.
And I just ignore it mostly. But no matter what, for the second or two that they act differently, you got to think about their behavior, even if you want to or not.
That sounds exhausting.
It is tiring. And then someone's electrocuting my genitals and like pulling the muscles beneath my genitals so that it feels like tearing, like my genitals are being torn.
Are you in pain?
It's painful.
Yeah.
It's like a muscle tear, like a constant muscle tear in my genitals, and it's technology. And I'm sorry, somebody just told me to say that. It's tearing, like it's like, and they're telling me stop working. If you don't want me to tear your muscles, stop working. If you don't like the feeling, stop going to work. In my ears, they said you don't have to work. You can be. I guess they're essentially saying you can be homeless. You can be poor.
What's the connection between that physical pain though and work? Are you doing?
It's
physically
torture.
strenuous?
No, it's just a form of torture. I've worked in many different places, and it's the same feeling that they cause. And it's just it only happens when I go to work. So that
Oh, it doesn't happen at home.
no.
Okay.
So like right now they're electrocuting my penis. Somebody is electrocuting the tip of my penis, and while I'm talking to you, and the idea is that that feeling makes you want to do something inappropriate, and that's what they do it for, to tempt you. So it calls it constant temptation to do something you're not supposed to do. So if you don't want to work, if we don't want you to work, we don't want you to do anything, your job is to stop working, to have sex with men, or be homeless, or kill yourself, or whatever the hell you want to call it. But we do not want you to work.
Or be around anybody.
Exactly, probably, yes. I don't think they said that. I think they want me to have sex with gay dudes. So they want me to be around gay people. They don't want a female. Be in the role of a female. So
You be in the role.
yes.
Okay.
So that's what they're telling me. So they want me to take the role of a female, and that's what the pain is. I think that's the pain association. I think that's the lesson essentially is to stop working like a female, to hang out with people like a female, but mostly men, gay men, and this is how we're teaching you that. And Barack Obama's flashing like a partial image of himself in my left eye, and telling me that that's what we want you to do. Wait, that's what he just explained to me in my ear.
That's what he wants you to do.
Yes, take the role of the female, and I just figured that out too, as well as that the pain to stop working, plus I want you to socialize with people, and the people would be gay people,
It has to be a specific
group
kind
of people.
Okay.
And gay. So he wants me to be a man who's gay and hangs out with gay men and doesn't work.
Has this ever made you quit other jobs?
No.
This feeling or
So
experience?
the only thing that happened before was that I had to complain. So if someone made contact with me, like rubbed up against my butt, made a facial gesture, made comments, I complained about those things because those were the only things that the companies I've worked for could actually do anything about. So the technology is a problem that is somebody else's, and the problems I mostly complain about at work belong to the people that I work for. So I complain to them about the things I can, and the technology stuff that I'm complaining to you about while I'm at work, I tell on YouTube or Twitter, and I tell I told the police, I told the FBI, I told the CIA, I just wrote them. There's no other way to contact these people. So years ago, I wrote each one of these organizations, and I told them quickly what's happening to me, and that was it. But usually at work, I only can talk about the things that occur, that people do, like making facial gestures,
Yeah.
making comments, and things of that nature. Somebody told me told me in my ear right now, just talk about the girl who looked at you and told you, I'm gay, really quietly, really softly, while you were trying to help her clean up. And I don't know why that's relevant, but he just said that in my ear. I don't really remember.
Was that at work?
Yeah, it was. But it's like an issue at work that you could maybe talk about at work, but there's a difference between the two things I can talk about. So I am dealing with that while at work, and no, I don't. Oh, that's a lie. So yeah, I did tell at my last job. Someone just reminded me. You did tell one of your bosses about the technology in your body, but that's not really. He didn't do anything about that. He can't take it out of my body, and no one really was supposed to complain about me talking. If they talk all the time to each other, they were upset that I was talking to someone, and it wasn't them. So they can't help feel upset that somebody's allowed to speak to somebody else, and then they also felt upset that I wasn't talking to them at all while I was at work. So I think they complained about that. He's not socializing with us. He doesn't want to have sex with us, and we are the type of people that have sex with our coworkers. So we are pretending to be those people. So whether or not they were actually those people or not, they were pretending to be those people while I was working for them, or working there, and that's been or maybe it's a teaching life lesson. Someone's telling me they're trying to teach you to believe it's okay to try to have sex with your coworkers. So they pretend like that's what they're doing, and then later you learn from them that this is appropriate behavior. But I'm not learning that.
Sure.
Because I don't want to. One, I'm not really interested in most of my coworkers. They're either too old or too young. I haven't worked with anyone who's my age.
Okay.
So mostly like the kids I work with now, like in their 20s. The people I worked with before were in their 40s, their 50s.
So you're right in the middle there.
Yeah, and somehow I've never been around people my age. In like the last 5 years I've been out of prison.
Wow.
So
Okay.
everywhere I work, everywhere I go, I haven't met or seen anybody my age. And I believe it's a community of effort. It has to take effort or technology in each person or lots of people's bodies to control that many people for anyone to have that kind of experience. So
So you think it's a technology that's kind of keeping other people within your age range
away.
in certain jobs or different jobs?
No, well, away. So,
Okay.
and then plus like technology or not, you can still not hire somebody if you don't want to. So, it's like like a cattle herder. You know, you can move lots of people in any direction, lots of animals in one direction. You could probably do the same thing with people.
Okay.
So, it's like no sex. I don't want to have sex with my coworkers, and that's what people have been trying to do since I started working for the last 5 years. Get me to have sex with coworkers, especially the male gay community coworkers. So I don't know. Situational behave like where people. So let's say like a girl's talking to you, and it doesn't matter who, if you're interested or not. She talks to you, you have a conversation. She's not really interested, or she pretends to feign interest, and then somebody's in your ear telling you, you should have hit on her, you should have tried to flirt with her or something, and then she leaves, and you just the interaction you just had was casual. It's like not casual, but like a normal interaction, and you know it.
Sure.
So she leaves, and then a gay guy comes into the room, and he's really happy to see you. He's really like kind of intimate, getting close to you, pretending to make contact with you, and then and it's like these people in your ears tell you, so if you don't want to flirt with that girl, then this dude's gonna come in here and flirt with you, and you're going to eventually want to flirt back with that guy, or they're gonna break you and get you to like the guy who's clearly trying to hide hitting on you or flirting with you or the whole act that was just played out was to get you to either flirt with girls that are too young for you or too old for you, or to have sex with a man who is flirting with you because you didn't have or try to flirt with the people that were too young or too old for you. And that's what these people are telling me in my ear, or and playing out in real life. Well, not in real life, but like we are sitting down at the table talking, sitting in your office talking to each other. So it's like these things are playing out normally, and then on top of that, there's somebody in my ear telling me to think about things that just happened differently than I normally would.
Well, I appreciate you sharing all that with me. I mean, it just helps me understand you,
Mm-hmm.
understand what you're going through a little
Yep.
bit better. I want to shift gears a little bit. It's
Okay.
been 6 months since your rules were reviewed, and so we have to review rules every 6 months.
Okay.
Nothing's been changed. They're the exact same.
All right.
You don't have to sign them this time because you signed them last time. Is it okay if I review them real quick with you?
Yeah, go for it.
I'll just turn it so that you can see them. And like I said, nothing's been added since the last time you reviewed them with your last agent. So the first one is to avoid any conduct that's in violation of federal or state statute, municipal or county ordinances, tribal law, or which is not in the best interest of the public welfare or rehabilitation. Any questions about that?
No. Do you want me to read them private, or do you want to read them out loud?
I have to review them. I have to review them individually with clients.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have videos of doing this before.
Yeah, so
and
we
I've-
have to do it every 6 months.
Yeah.
Especially with like new transfer ins, so that at least I can say, yep, I reviewed the rules with them, and so, did you just hear me?
Yeah, no. I'm saying like I've had videos I posted on YouTube of I had my rules. Yeah, and they usually hand them to me, tell me to read them, and tell me that nothing's changed, and then they tell me to sign them. They never had to read them out loud.
Yeah, so this is what we're advised to do. Sometimes units do it a little bit differently,
Okay.
but this is what, and this is a new change over COVID, to review them with clients, because if we're not reviewing them one by one, clients can say, hey, I didn't know that. I didn't know, no one ever told me that that was a rule, okay? So
Okay.
at least I'm covering, my bases.
All right, no, it's cool. And then somebody in my left ear just said, you should turn the camera off. And I'm not thinking about that. I swear to God, somebody in my left ear just told me you should turn the camera off and then turn it back on when she finishes because you don't want. And this is what they're saying.
That's okay.
No, I swear to God. Somebody just said because you don't want your rules on the internet. I honestly am debating. I don't care. They don't give me enough time to think.
Can you edit it like later?
I
give
have no
yourself
idea.
Some time to edit later?
Yeah, that is weird, isn't it? That's another great idea. But these people are telling me these things, and it's weird because I really don't have an opinion yet. I haven't even formed an opinion about whether or not you want to
post it.
Yeah, post it, or if it's of what's happening right now is normal or not.
I mean, if you have the editing capabilities, I don't know anything about technology. I think I told you that before, but maybe kind of sit on it after, record it and then decide whether or not you just want to post up until we started reviewing your rules or something.
That's another great idea. But yeah, these I guess now he's flashing his image in my left eye. He's not that smart. That's even your idea is a better idea. But yeah, let's keep going.
All right, and I'll go through this quickly.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna read verbatim, but just making sure you understand. Number 2 is to report any arrest or police contact to me within 72 hours. 3 is lengthy. It just goes on to talk about how we ask that clients accept opportunities and cooperate with counseling when offered during supervision, to include addressing the identified case plan goals. What that's saying is that if the agent says, hey, John, you could really, our recommendation is to do this or this or this for counseling or treatment, we ask that you cooperate with that, okay? Because needs change, clients' needs change over the course of, several months, several years, and to sign releases of information, so we can confirm participation in those programs. 4 is to inform your agent of your whereabouts and activities as directed. 5 is to submit one of those report forms when you come into the office. 6 is to make yourself available for searches, including but not limited to residence, property, computer, cell phone, and other electronic device under your control. 7 is to make yourself available for tests and comply with order tests, such as the drug testing, breathalyzers, DNA collection, and blood samples. 8 is to obtain approval before changing residence or employment, and in the case of an emergency, just notify me within 72 hours. 9 is to obtain approval on a travel permit before leaving the state of Wisconsin. 10 is to obtain written approval before purchasing, trading, selling, or operating your vehicle. 11 is to obtain approval from your agent prior to purchases. If you were, going to get a mortgage or buy a boat or something like that. 12 is to pay any court-ordered obligations and monthly supervision fees. And if you have any questions about, financial obligations that you might owe, just ask me and we can look it up. 13 is the firearm ban. So state and federal law prohibits anyone convicted of a felony from purchasing, possessing, owning, or carrying a firearm. 14 is not to vote in any federal, local, state or local election, until you are off of supervision. 15 is to abide by all rules in the detention or correctional facility in which you may be confined. 16 is to be honest. 17 is to report. 18 is to comply with any court order conditions and any additional rules established by your agent. And then the special rules are no use or possession of alcohol, not to enter any bars or taverns or businesses where the primary purpose is the sale of alcohol, the no contact with Rebecca Brockman, Patrick Brockman, Todd Hall, and their immediate family members, or not to use or have any account with Facebook, and I think that was a more relatively recent one within the last year. Does that sound right?
Yes.
The SO1, not to have any contact or attempt contact with SLM, MQH, AM, or any prior victims of your offenses and family members without prior approval. And then it just goes into detail about what contact would look like: face-to-face, through third party, electronic means, etc. SO2 is to cooperate with and participate in and successfully complete any sex offender evaluations related to risk and treatment. 3 is to cooperate with, participate in, and successfully complete all sex offender services deemed appropriate through the evaluation process. 4 is not to stay overnight in any place other than a pre-approved residence without prior agent approval, and overnight is defined as the daily period between the hours of 11 p.m. and 6 a.m. unless redefined by your agent. And then 5 is not to permit anyone to stay at your residence between the hours of 11 p.m. or 6 a.m. without approval. 6 is to comply with any additional sex offender rules that may be established. Special sex offender rule 4, not to possess nor view any material that depicts any intimate parts of an adult. And then they go into detail. The intimate parts meaning breast, buttock, penis, groin, scrotum, penis, vagina, or pubic mouth between the as defined in Wisconsin Statute 939. Special sex offender rule 7, not to establish, pursue, or maintain any dating, romantic, or sexual relationship without prior agent approval. 8 is to fully comply with any registry requirements as applicable and directed by your agent. And then the last one is the polygraph rule. As somebody who is registered with SORP, everyone registered is required to submit to a polygraph if and when that's you're called upon for that. And that's it. I know there's several, I supervise quite a few other clients that are on the registry, and it takes usually a little bit longer to review those rules, but nothing's changed since the last time those rules were put into. And like I said, you don't have to sign them. You'll need to sign them in 6 months from today.
Okay.
And that is it. Something else, just a heads up, I was looking through, we don't have to do this today, but it doesn't look like you've done any drug testing since you've been out of prison.
Once.
Have you done once? The
Yeah.
last one that's documented, I can show you. The last one that's documented, did you do it with an agent?
No, it was, I got in trouble. Well, I was in lacrosse, and they told me to, this guy punched me in the face. I punched him back.
Was it a bar?
Yeah.
thing?
Yeah, and they, while I was out that night, some people were offering me weed. So I was hanging out with some people that I worked with at the time, and the guy offered me weed. I said no. They were drinking. They came out with a beer. I drank a beer, and I went down. We started hanging out for like 2 hours. It was about an hour, maybe 2 hours. This guy punched me in the face, and I punched him back, and the dude I worked with was getting beat up as well. He said the people that we were just hanging out with owed him money. So these were people I'd never met before, people I'd never hung out with before. I think they were all in the gay community, and I just had no idea. I had no idea I was hanging out with people who looked heterosexual, but were actually in the gay community. And these people, it was like 10 people, and the rest of the whole city was quiet. So it was like nobody was out except for us 10 people, and it was a quiet night besides us. So I walked across the street. The guy I used to work with walked with me. This dude, as I got across the street, punched me in the face. I punched him back. The guy I was with was getting beat up. I turned around, and the guy I was with was being beat up, or pretended to be getting beat up, right? And I'm sure they were still his friends. So they knocked him down. The guy was getting knocked down. I went over, punched the guy, and the guy that beat him up, or was beating him up, and then at the end of the night. Oh, and then I seen the guy that I punched and was charged with beaten up badly was actually getting beat up on the ground by somebody else. So there was a dude that was beating this guy up, punching him in the face. The guy that I had punched first, that also charged me with beating him up, was punching this dude in the face repeatedly. And then I seen the guy that told police I beat him up put his hands in the air and say, "Hold up," or "Wait," or something like that. And the dude that was punching him in the face stopped immediately, punching him in the face. And I think it was when blood started coming down his nose. So I think the guy was like showing, because I didn't punch him that hard. There's no way in the world I hit him that hard. And the guy was way bigger than me. And I barely hit him, and then he just fell down. So, well, I hit him I was punching him. It was like really, really soft. I couldn't, like I told you, I didn't know there's technology in my body, but the technology at that time was stopping me from hitting this guy as hard as I could.
Okay.
So it was like I was punching the air, moving through like 1,000 something, I don't know, like a lot of weight that was stopping me from hitting this guy at all. And it was like I was tapping him like a table tap, like this, really soft. But I wanted to hit harder, but I couldn't. So the guy fell down on the ground like a baby, but I didn't hit him hard enough to knock him on the ground.
Sure.
And then after I got done helping the guy I used to work with, and I tried my best to fight, but I couldn't. And I turned around and seen some dude punching the guy that accused me of beating him up really bad, getting punched in the face repeatedly by another guy that was already there, until blood started falling down his face. And then the guy held his hand up and said, "That's enough." And then I got, my chest was squeezing really hard. I couldn't breathe. I was having a really hard time breathing. And I started to walk towards my vehicle. And the guy I was with left with me. We drove away. The police officers immediately came around a corner without his lights on, really fast, and got behind me, turned the lights on, and pulled me over. I pulled over immediately. And then after that, I was in jail. The parole agent showed up and did a piss test. So
At the jail?
At the jail.
Okay.
And he's like asking me if I smoked any weed at that night.
Yeah.
And now I see that, this like a altercation was planned out. It's like somebody's constantly asking you if you want to smoke weed. A few hours that night.
You get a drug test?
Well, yeah, and then the parole agent shows up and he's like, "Well, it's a good thing you didn't smoke any weed, or this drug test came back clean, because you would have been revocated."
That was a while ago, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So where I was going with that is that they clearly didn't document that in the system.
Okay.
So I'm not going to do one today.
Okay.
But I will probably do one next time. Just
Okay.
give me a heads up, okay?
Oh, somebody
It's
thinks
not
I'm taking drugs?
No.
Oh.
I drop everybody randomly.
Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't had I've been on, besides that one, I never had
Yeah,
one.
I'm not gonna have it observed.
Yeah.
Okay. I try to at least get one on file for everybody on that case load.
Okay.
Even if they have no history of substances, okay?
Mhm.
And we test for like 14 different substances, including alcohol, so
Okay.
just a heads up, just wanna.
No, I don't drink. I don't smoke weed. I don't do drugs. When they changed the rules in I think that Madison, Dane County, or something like that, you can smoke weed in Dane County now or something.
Yeah, there's a difference between legalization and decriminalization.
Yeah.
So essentially decriminalized.
Right.
You know, you're not gonna get, I don't know what the specific amounts are, but, you know, the chances that you're gonna get locked up or get like a criminal charge for small amounts.
Yeah.
But it depends on where you go, right?
Right.
Because Dane County is a lot more lax. But if you go, you know, 30 minutes north,
Right. You get hit.
they'll
Right.
they pull you over. They'll pull you over for a lot of stuff.
Yep.
Which I'm sure you know, and you know they get bored outside of Dane County. So
Right. Right.
They gotta find stuff to do. Is this a good time to schedule a next appointment?
Yep.
So you're looking at the week of the March 27th.
Okay.
And I can do that Monday or Tuesday.
That is your choice.
How about that Tuesday, the 28th?
Okay. Tuesday.
Do you want to do the same time, 11 o'clock?
28, 11 o'clock. Okay. 11 a.m. Alright, go see Parole. 11 a.m. I'm okay. I'll just keep this. Alright. Yep.
Enjoy the rest of your week.
Yep.
All right, take care.
I think that driver in that car planned on swerving through that intersection. So imagine some car driving normally, doing that really quickly. So swerving. So right here. So imagine him driving normally and then going right back. As I walked out of there, because I can see through from there, I can see through this window to there. So somebody has technology that they can use to know where you are, whenever you are, and do things that you only see as you when they want you to, and they can get away with it because they can look at opportunities, right? They call it opportunities. They're telling me right here that to not say anything, but they call it opportunities when a person can do something and get away with it, like really quick. If you do it really quick, nobody will ever know that you did it, and that's what this technology is for. And I'm trying to tell on these people. And somebody is working really hard to keep me from telling. Crap. So somebody is working really hard to keep me from telling. But I still plan on telling. So that's what I'm doing. I grabbed this earlier. It's another complaint form. My parole agent walked up to me today and told me that she took the flag down and she's going to put it back up when I leave. So she takes it down when I come and puts it back up when I leave. That's pretty dope. That's what I was going to complain about. So I don't know if I should. If it's well, she's still in the gay community. Someone just told me in my ear that makes no sense. She's still in the gay community. She's still an ally of the gay community, but I don't know if they'll do anything about it. They'll probably they're telling me in my ear they're going to tell you that she's a professional and she's not going to act on any of her cultural values while you're in her office. So, I don't know if this is gonna work out for me. So I'm gonna just let it go, I think. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Someone was just making fun of my nose. So I gotta tell you guys all I can. I got time. So the people who invented this technology, right? The people who invented this technology to do things to your body also invented a means to change the way your face looks. So this nose, you can grow a person's nose. And that's what Todd Hall and his friends in the gay community love making fun of me the most about. The fact that you can grow a person's nose just like you can grow their genitals. So they built technology to change the way a person looks. They built this technology, put it in people's babies' bodies so that the kids who grew up to have sex with gay people would look better than the kids who grew up to not have sex with gay people. So my entire life since I was born, somebody decided slowly to make me less attractive by growing my nose, making my cheeks smaller, so taking the fat out of my cheeks, so that my appearance is like starving, like I look sick in all of my pictures. So the idea was to make me unattractive. They're telling me in my ear to say, the idea is to make you unattractive to females. And if you look the way you look, because we made your nose bigger and we shrank your cheeks, when you take pictures or when people look at you, it's to hurt. They can hurt your feelings by telling you your nose is bigger than the white guys or the black people who have pointier noses and are fuller cheeks than you. It's not because I'm starving. I like to eat food. I gotta zip this up. I like to eat. I like to eat food. I like to work out. I like food and working out. And everybody knows that. Boys like to eat. So they built technology to make you hungry or to make you full when you're not hungry and you're not full. So you don't want to eat unless they tell you to, and you want to eat when they tell you to. And even if you starved yourself, if you binged, you just kept eating food no matter what, even if you felt like you were full and you knew you weren't, they can change the way your face looks. So they can change your cheeks, the blood flow. I think they call it blood flow. They can increase and decrease the flow of blood to your cheeks. And they can increase or decrease the flow of blood to your nose. And they can increase or decrease the flow of blood to your penis. So they can make your penis larger and they can make your nose larger. So if they don't want girls to like the way you look, or they want to be able to make fun of you because, being called ugly and then giving a person the feelings, hurt feelings. I don't know, this technology can give you hurt feelings, make you feel hurt when you're not hurt. Or when somebody said doesn't actually hurt your feelings up here, they can actually make you feel like your feelings were hurt in here, like down here, somewhere in your chest. So it's an imitation of hurt feelings, but it still has the same aggravation. It's aggravating. So like I said, in my photos, videos, and all that stuff, somebody using technology at any given moment to make my nose bigger when I take a picture or whenever they want to. And then to say in my ears, you're ugly, you're ugly, you're ugly, you're ugly. But I don't feel that way. I don't think I'm ugly. I don't think my nose is really gonna stop women from having sex with me. Because I think girls have sex with all kind of guys. Bad guys, good guys, nice, smart ones, dumb ones, strong ones, weak ones, all types of guys. And I don't think anything in life can change the way a girl feels about a guy that she likes. So that's not the problem. The problem is a bunch of dudes who are gay are angry that I won't have sex with them. And they do things to hurt the people that they're trying to have sex with until that person is willing to have sex with them. And one, is making your nose larger and hurting your feelings about your nose being larger than everybody else's, which is something I don't have a problem with. This is something I'm trying to tell on them for doing to me. And I think people are going to learn that this technology is possible and that these people did really bad things to a lot of people. And that's what I'm going to tell. Telling on YouTube because I think you guys can, somebody's supposed to watch this and continue to tell people. And to call the FBI, CIA, and tell them that there's a guy in Wisconsin saying somebody put technology in his body. And that it is worth figuring out if he's telling the truth. It is important to figure out if he is telling the truth.